We had a good open week last week, practiced 4 days. Felt like we got a lot of work done, worked a lot of our younger players. Some of the guys that maybe hadn't played that we still are counting on, gave them an awful lot of repetition, as well as some of our red-shirted freshmen to give them an opportunity to scrimmage a little bit. So it was a good week in that respect. We're going to face a really good Illinois State team that I know is going to be hungry for a victory. They could easily be 4-0, and fortunately they've lost their last two, and they're a good football team, and they're really well coached and have a bunch of talent. So we need to play our best football on Saturday to have an opportunity to be successful. So we'll open up for questions.
What's the true Illinois State team, the one that beat Northwestern, the one you saw the last 2 weeks that lost?
Well, I think we're going to get the one that beat Northwestern. I mean, let's be honest. I think their backs are a little bit against the wall. You'd hate to start off 0-2 in the league, and this league's so good that who knows what the final record is going to be that wins the league. But I know that we'll get their best shot. There's no question about that. And they just have had a couple of balls bounce wrong way. I thought they were driving for the winning score, and Indiana State guy made a nice play on a sack, and they get a fumble, and that kind of ended the game. But if not, maybe they take that one in and score. So I think we'll get their best team.
How are they different without Roberson and Copper?
It's a different offense in the fact that they're throwing it around a little bit more. I'm really impressed with Colby, the way he throws the football. He can run it. He's not Trey Roberson running it, and I think they would tell you the same thing. But he's hurt some people with his legs on some runs, and they're playing an awful lot of different people at tailback, and so they don't have the one guy similar to us. They're giving it to three guys, but they're just, I think, a lot more diverse in the throwing game.
Defensively, they're doing all sorts of different things. They're going 3-4, they're going 4-3. Tough to prepare for that?
Yeah, absolutely tough to prepare. And what they'll do against us, we're not sure, but we have to be ready for and adjust to a 4-down front, to the Okie front, to the double eagle front. We have to adjust to a lot of different fronts, as well as movement. I would assume that they're going to move quite a bit on us and pressure us, especially on some run stunts. So we'll have to really practice an awful lot of those situations this week.
Does that fall on Easton to get you guys into the right play? You have to,
Well, I think both on Easton and the offensive line to identify, who we're specifically identifying on each run play, and Easton to make sure that he understands, not to run it into their numbers and stuff, because they have a really, really good staff, and I know defensively they've played pretty well. And so I think they'll try some different things to try to get us off, of running the football.
How did Nick's surgery go?
I think it went really well. Everything that I had heard from Bobby and from Nick, that it was a successful surgery, and the timetable is kind of what we think it is, probably more in that 6-month range. And he'll be out. He was out at practice on Saturday. He'll be out there this week at practice.
You guys have overcome injuries to key players the last however many years, and so I think fans, maybe even we the media, kind of say, "Oh, DeLuca's out. Oh well." How big of a deal is it to lose Nick?
Yeah, it's a big deal. Obviously, we always say the next man up, and Matt Plank's that guy, and I'm really happy the fact that we have a veteran guy in Matt that's going to take his place. But make no mistake, I mean, Nick is one of the best linebackers in all of FCS, and one of the best in our league, and it was playing at such a high level, not only in the run game, in the pass game, and a vocal guy for us. So it'll be an adjustment. There's no doubt about that. It'll be an adjustment for our defense. Everybody else is going to have to step up. We can't put it all on Matt Plank. It has to be the secondary's got to play a little bit better. The defensive line does, and the linebackers around Matt, and carry it over to the offense as well. But no question, Nick's a dynamic football player, and we're sure going to miss him.
Is it the speed you're going to miss the most with him? Because he seems to make a lot of plays that other linebackers don't make.
Yeah, Absolutely. His ability to run sideline to sideline and to, be the anchor in our Tampa 2 of opening up and running the deep middle. And Matt can do all those things. He's probably not quite as fast as Nick, but he's a really instinctive player that played a really good second half of a football game against Charleston Southern. And I think the important thing for Matt is he was able to get, once again, all those reps with the number ones last week, just like he'd gotten them prior to Charleston Southern when we weren't sure if Nick was going to go because of an injury, and then after Eastern Washington. So Matt has had plenty of repetition, and I know Matt's looking forward to the opportunity, and we're excited about some things that Matt brings to the table because he's an exceptional football player.
I see that Brock Robbins is not in the depth chart. What's his status?
Yeah, Brock broke his foot. We think there was a stress fracture potentially that had been kind of lingering, and then at practice was just running and heard a pop. He'll be out 6 weeks, we think. So it's unfortunate because he was really coming on and doing some really good things. But it's a kind of a freak deal that I think his surgery is today or tomorrow, and we hope to have him back still this season.
Chase going to get a lion's share then, I'm guessing, the snaps of fullback?
Well, we'll split it up. I mean, Chase will have some. We have a number of tight ends that can do what Brock was doing.
Coach, it's your third homecoming game in charge. How does this week and this game compare to every other home game?
It doesn't really change much as far as our routine. We have a little earlier start, and congratulate all the Hall of Fame inductees on Friday, and a number of alumni coming back. So I think that's really important to our program to make sure that we put on a good show for those alums, and they're why we play. And we do it for the guys that put the jersey on before us, and so we welcome all those guys back. And but from our routine, as far as what we're going to do this week, nothing's really going to change.
Alums number 11, any word from him?
He's a pretty good football player, and just kind of like we thought he would answer the bell and it wouldn't be too big for him, but I'm hoping he's coming back. I have not had any final declaration if he is or isn't. He talked about it, I know, a week or so ago, but I don't know what he has going this weekend.
Smith, though, announcing he was coming back, and I know he's agreed to a bunch of pregame shows and stuff. What's it mean for you to have someone like him, someone who's still fighting the good fight out there on the practice squad with the Eagles? It's
great to have CJ and all those former players and come back, and we think CJ will see some time this year on the active roster, and for our corners and defensive backs and stuff that played with CJ to just be around him, I think will be a big benefit.
Marquise Bridges at corner.
Pardon me?
Marquise Bridges at corner.
Yeah, he's been there for the last 10 days probably, and he's picking things up really well. He's extremely athletic. He's really quick. He's learning the details of the position at a much faster pace than I think Coach Klieman and I even thought. And he's probably in between that third and fourth corner right now. It depends on the game plan and depends how many things we would put on his plate. But right now he's there to stay for sure this fall. We'll see what happens after this fall, but through the fall he's there to stay, and I wouldn't hesitate right now to play him, especially with another week of practice, because he's a really competitive guy, and it was a move that we needed to make.
How much did he play in high school at corner?
Played a lot. Played both ways, yeah. He has, just like you'd think, he has really good ball skills, understands press coverage and all those things. It's just all the little nuances of our defense that he's learning right now.
So the move, was that made because he needed help at corner, or he wasn't seeing enough time at receiver?
We needed help at corner more than the latter. We just needed help at corner, we're moving Dom Davis inside a little bit more to truly be that nickel guy behind really Pierre, so to speak. So Dom will see some playing time, we think, at the nickel position, and in doing that, then we had to give another guy a rep at corner. But it was something that we knew we needed to, with all the empty and 4 and 5 wide teams, we needed to have another body over there.
Chris, are you set at linebacker, or is there any way you'll move MJ or Pierre inside and get some other guys?
We're looking at that. It's probably too early to tell right now. Last week we played our normal positions with Plank at the mic, And it's something that we're looking at, but yeah, I don't think it'll happen right now.
Brockmeyer's status health-wise, is he?
We'll find out this week. He did not practice last week, and we're hopeful that Eric can play, because if he does, then it opens up some more things for us with Robbie. But right now, he'll be probably a midweek decision.
How important was having this off to move people like Marquise and figure us out the linebacker?
Well, it was really important just with the amount of guys we had nicked up and banged up from the Iowa game, and to give Matt Plank another full week at linebacker, and he just came at a great time with the non-conference schedule, and difficult as that was, and as physical as that non-conference schedule was, for us to get some guys healed up and like you said, to move some guys around.
What's Eric's injury again?
He has a PCL ligament in his knee.
Back on the off week, the bye week, 22 straight wins. You've talked about repeating the process, but that's a lot of success to have in a row. Why are you guys so good when you have a week off?
I didn't know that was the number. I don't, other than we just prepare. But every year's different, every game's different, and we're not treating this like any other game. This is what we do in our bye week. We practice these specific days and gave these specific days off, and now we're back at it this week, and we'll try to win today and see if we can bank enough of those days and have a chance to be successful Saturday. I don't know if there's any magic formula.
Do you think at all like Grant Olson, will he want to put on a headset and start running practice and some of those things like Grant did?
Nobody's like Grant like that, kind of quirky like that. No, Nick will be out at practice helping the guys out, and we'll decide what we're going to do with him on game day.
Any talk or emphasis that this is the start of the conference season?
Oh, you bet. I mean, this is why we play. This is what we're here for, is to have a chance to compete in the Missouri Valley Conference. And as everybody knows, anybody can beat anybody on any given week. And the fact that Illinois State's coming off of a loss just ensures us that we're going to get their best game. And you need to be able to hold serve at home, and that's a difficult thing to do, and we haven't done that. We've been, we were beat last year at home, and you have to make sure that you focus on each game, on the preparation for each game, because we're going to go through 8 of these things that are going to be really, really difficult games.
How important was it to get through the non-conference 3-0 with a tough schedule? And I don't know if you feel like you have breathing room now, but certainly being 3-0 is better than being 2-1.
Absolutely. To be 3-0 is a great feather in those guys' caps, to the way they played for those 3 weeks, and the resilience that we showed just winning tight fourth quarter games and stuff. To be 3-0, I think, sets us up well, but in the same respect, it still comes down to your conference, and how you play in that determines what your end of your season is like.
I'm going to ask you this every year, but looking at it with the Valley, out of conference 4 FBS wins never happened before. Is this even better than the time you've been in it?
It really is. I was really pleased for Western Illinois to get that big win. I don't care how Northern Illinois is playing. It's still going on the road, playing a really good opponent, notoriously year in, year out, and Charlie's called me after we beat Iowa, and really happy for he and his program that they were able to get that win.
How much do you view it as an advantage that you guys were off on Saturday while Illinois State was scrapping out a game?
Well, we'll find out Saturday. You hope it is, in the fact that we were practicing on Illinois State while they were playing, but in the same respect, they had another competitive game, and we were just practicing. I don't know if they were nicked up. I have no idea what their injury status was, but hopefully our guys will be fresh. But it still comes down to what you do for those 60 minutes starting at 1 o'clock on Saturday.
How would you evaluate Zach Johnson's senior year so far?
Exceptional. He's playing really well. He's healthy, knock on wood. He's healthy. He's playing at a high level. He's dominating the line of scrimmage. Really pleased with Zach, and really pleased with the group up front. Obviously, we played really well collectively up front, almost a week and a half ago against Iowa, and we have to continue that. For us to be successful, we have to be able to run the football, period. And if we're able to run the football, we have that time of possession advantage, and which we also know that Illinois State's going to do everything they can with different fronts and stunts and blitzes to try to eliminate our ability to control the football. So Zach and the offensive line has to continue to do what they did a week ago.
Any explanation for that? Is it more maturity? Is he more focused? All those things? Or
No, and I think he's played really well, but I think the bigger thing is his health. He hasn't had a nagging knee or a nagging back. He's did a good job taking care of his body and getting his workouts in and eating right and those things. I think that's just made him that much stronger as a game has gone on.
Is there any concern of the confidence level being, turning into cockiness after, the way you guys beat Iowa? How do you try to combat that?
They won't, trust me, they won't. That's not even a question. So, no, not at all.
Coach, are there too many different pieces to look back at the last game to have any sort of reflection on that from Illinois State and your part? To use that as some sort of preparation for Saturday?
To use what? I'm sorry, Miss.
Is there too many different pieces from each team to even look at the last time these teams played?
Oh, no, we're looking, when we played them in the championship game, absolutely. We're looking at that game a lot because there's some things they did against us. I don't care if Roberson and Copperich were in the game. There were some things that they did a great job against our defense, and there were some things they did a really good job defending our offense. So that's a game we're definitely have in the mix of games we're breaking down. And it's like opponents. It's 4 down fronts. It's all those things, and we know that they also have shared the league title with us the last 2 years, and that's why this is such a huge game, because this is a team that's perennially one of the best teams in the league and most physical teams and most well coached.